Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, the youth of this country have brought a change, a defining movement of African politics, because as we're speaking now, there are other countries who are discussing matters happening in this country in their parliament, their National Assembly. So Gen Zs in Kenya have become a topic of discussion among the legislators in the world. But above all, Africa. There are many who are taking lesson, very keen lesson, from what is unfolding in this country as far as democracy, leadership, and the people's aspiration is concerned. So there's a member of parliament in Ghana parliament who took the discussion to the parliament to warn members of parliament on their position as a representative of the people versus the vote they make in the interest of the executive. It is a reminder, it is a warning that the youth are watching careful, and what has been happening in Kenya can quickly or soon happen in Ghana and elsewhere, simply because people have been so silent and so patient for too long. But they have been pushed to a corner, and now it is time to react. And that reaction is a bombshell, it is a revolution, it is a change. So the discussion is not just here in Kenya, it is all over. The world is taking note and a lesson from Gen Zs in Kenya here. So there is something big taken to a national level, international level, on a serious discussion. And the people are watching Ruto, they are watching the parliament, and they are listening keenly to the people that they represent.
When we push people to a level and they reach their zero tolerance level, they definitely will react. Mr. Speaker, let's not be deceived. Everybody wants peace. Everybody will want to go by the right procedure to address issues. But when people have a feeling and a sense of judgment that they are not being given a fair and level playing field, they definitely will react. It's a human reaction, and there's nothing you can do about it. Mr. Speaker, we were in Kenya 2 weeks prior to 25th of June. The youth and the Gen Zs have demonstrated. Mr. Speaker, what broke their hearts was the fact that that Tuesday, in spite of all their protestations, the National Chamber and the Senate sat and passed the finance bill. That is what we call impunity. That is when we, the political class, decide not to listen to the feelings and the cries of the people. And they never thought they would endanger the lives of their people. But do you know what they said? They said they don't care about the executive. They care about us, their representatives, who have disappointed them, because they voted for us to hold the executive in check. So if the executive has brought to us a finance bill that is going to scorch them further, that is going to strangulate them further, and we, the representatives, we fail to defend them, then they are turning their anger from the executive to us. That is why it is important that we value our position in this house. Mr. Speaker, this statement is timely if first we members of this house will take a cue from what has happened in Kenya and understand that the people who vote for us are more important than sometimes the political decisions we take. That we have a bill before us that the people outside who voted for us are not happy with, but because of political convenience, we are ready to even break heads to let it go through against the will of the people. They will react because they will soon lose confidence in our ability to defend their interests. Mr. Speaker, recently I heard Reverend Archbishop Duncan Williams say that we are moving to the level where the danger before us as a nation is that big majority of the youth who feel hopeless and don't see any hope in the democracy we have it.
Now, as we continue with the panel discussion, just a quick request. For those who are watching and you've not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, you heard from that member of parliament that when people have been pushed to a level of zero tolerance, they react. Kenyans have been attempted so many times by William Ruto. Ruto pushed Kenyans to a level of zero tolerance. And therefore, this was just a time bomb, waiting, and now it just came to pass. It is not only in Kenya, it is also going to happen elsewhere, and Kenya is not the first country, but again, it is setting precedents going forward. And the reality that you need to have a sense of judgment when you want to make a decision among the people you are leading and what the executive wants. So, the feeling and the sense of judgment should be well informed before you make a decision as a member of parliament on any bill you are voting. How will it affect your people, positively or negatively? Advantages and disadvantages. When you see disadvantages are more than the advantages, it's a red card. But when the advantages supersede the disadvantages, you can make that consideration. In all the finance bill that Ruto brought about, clause by clause, benefits are very small. Disadvantages imetawala kwa hiyo bill yote, imetawala kabisa. Then you find a member of parliament going to vote in favor of such a bill. So, in this, you have betrayed the electorate. What this member of parliament from Ghana is referring to as voting in a political convenience versus people's interest. So, due to political convenience, you've been pushed when you move to a UDA. You've been threatened. Una kunja mkia, you go on your knees and you betray your people. That political convenience should not supersede the people's interest. You are voting in a political line. That this is the UDA position. What about the Kenyan position? Your people's position? Your constituency position? Your county's position? What is it? Is it in support of that or not? Look here. What this member of parliament is telling the people is that the executive should live within the means that people can afford. Live within our means, not as living within your means. So definitely, this discussion is now globally. What has been started here in Kenya is going to spread across the world, especially Africa. Uganda is taking keynotes. Tanzania is taking keynotes. Nigeria, Ghana, you name all of them. And soon what has happened there in Kenya, it will happen elsewhere. So if Ruto thought that this is just for a short time, is a wave that will just pass and things will continue as normal, the discussion is going international. So it is not yet over. When the youth see such matter being discussed elsewhere, and of course, encouragement all over, and warning to the government, then they will continue with this journey. So to the youth, to the Kenyan Gen Zs, there's a thumbs up for you for doing a great job, for leading from front and calling for a change in our politics. So the failures of Kenya Kwanza administration is being discussed elsewhere. This tells you that indeed you are a great mess to the people you are leading and to your own nation. So the Kenyan government is being used as a bad example. Members of parliament from Kenya are being used as a bad example because they dumped the people and pleased William Ruto. But the youth in this country are being used as the best example by other nations elsewhere. So you can look at that. So when you land in another country from the airport, you are from which country? Kenya. Gen Z, doing great job. Thumbs up. They congratulate you if you are a mother that indeed you gave birth to children who can see, realize, and visualize, stand for their freedom, interest, and their democracy.